Picture this. Two titans of the canine world standing face to face. On one side, the muscular powerhouse with a grip that legends are made of. On the other, the ancient guardian bred to protect Roman armies. Both fearless, both incredibly strong, both misunderstood. But if these two warriors ever met in a test of strength, speed, intelligence, and raw power, who would come out on top? Today, we're diving deep into the ultimate canine showdown, Pitbull versus Rottweiler. We'll break down everything from their bite force to their fighting instincts, from their historical purpose to their modern capabilities. This isn't about promoting violence. This is about understanding two of the most powerful dog breeds on the planet. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one dominates in every category that matters. But before we jump into this epic battle, make sure you hit that like button right now. And if you love learning about powerful dog breeds and want to see more showdowns like this, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our content. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one because what we reveal might shock you. Introduction to the breeds. Let's set the stage properly. When we talk about pit bulls, we're generally referring to the American Pitbull Terrier, though this term often includes similar breeds like the American Staffordshire Terrier. These dogs were originally bred in England for bull baiting and later became farm dogs in America. They're medium-sized dogs, typically weighing between 50 to 70 pounds, with males standing around 18 to 21 inches tall. Their most distinctive feature is their incredible muscular build, especially in the chest and jaw area. Their coat is short and smooth, coming in virtually any color pattern you can imagine. Now, the Rottweiler has a completely different heritage. This breed traces its roots back to ancient Rome, where they drove cattle and guarded supplies for the Roman legions. They eventually settled in the town of Rottweiler in Germany, where they became known as butcher's dogs, protecting money pouches and pulling carts loaded with meat. Rottweilers are significantly larger than pit bulls, with males weighing between 95 to 135 pounds and standing 24 to 27 inches tall. They have that iconic black coat with distinct rust-colored markings on their face, chest, and legs. Their build is robust and powerful, designed for endurance and strength. Both breeds have unfortunately been labeled as dangerous, banned in certain areas, and feared by many. But the truth is far more complex than the stereotypes suggest. These are working breeds with specific traits that make them exceptional when properly trained and handled. Understanding these traits is key to understanding who would win in our ultimate showdown. Physical attributes. Comparison. Let's talk raw physical power first. The Rottweiler has a clear size advantage. With some males pushing close to 140 pounds of solid muscle, they can be almost double the weight of an average pit bull. This mass gives them tremendous momentum and the ability to use their body weight as a weapon. Their bone structure is heavier, their frame is larger, and they have a naturally intimidating presence that comes from centuries of breeding for protection work. But don't count out the pit bull based on size alone. What these dogs lack in weight, they make up for in pure muscle density and athletic ability. Pound for pound, pit bulls are among the most muscular dogs in existence. Their muscle-to-fat ratio is extraordinary. They're built like canine athletes, with explosive power in their legs, incredible core strength, and that famous broad chest that houses a powerful cardiovascular system. Where Rottweilers are built like linebackers, pit bulls are built like Olympic wrestlers, compact, agile, and incredibly strong for their size. speed and agility tell an interesting story. The Pitbull is notably more agile and quicker in their movements. They can change direction rapidly, leap impressive heights, and maintain high-intensity activity for extended periods. Their lower center of gravity and lighter frame make them extremely maneuverable. Rottweilers, while not slow by any means, are more methodical in their movements. They rely on calculated power rather than quick bursts of speed. However, when a Rottweiler does charge, their momentum is devastating. Endurance is another factor. Pitbulls were bred for stamina in activities that required sustained effort. They can maintain high energy output for longer periods. Rottweilers have good endurance for their size, but carrying that extra mass requires more energy. In a prolonged encounter, this could become a critical factor. Bite force and jaw mechanics. Now we get to one of the most debated topics, bite force. Let's set the record straight with actual science. Studies measuring canine bite force have shown that Rottweilers possess one of the strongest bites in the domestic dog world, with measurements around 328 pounds per square inch. Some individual Rottweilers have been recorded even higher. This incredible bite force comes from their large head, powerful jaw muscles, and the mechanical advantage of their skull structure. Pitbulls, despite their reputation, actually have a bite force measuring around 235 to 250 pounds per square inch. Now, before Pitbull advocates get upset, understand that this is still an incredibly powerful bite, stronger than German Shepherds and many other large breeds. But it's not the strongest, and the myth about Pitbulls having locking jaws is exactly that, a myth. Their jaw structure is no different from any other dog breed. What makes Pitbull bites particularly dangerous isn't the force alone. It's the combination of bite force, jaw strength, determination, and their tendency to hold on rather than bite and release. This trait was bred into them for their historical working purposes. They bite, they hold, and they don't let go easily. It's a behavioral trait more than a physical one. Rottweilers typically use a bite and release pattern in confrontations, using their superior force to inflict maximum damage quickly. Their large heads and wide jaw opening mean they can get a grip on larger areas, and when they clamp down, that force is distributed with devastating effect. The jaw mechanics also matter. Rottweilers have a broader muzzle and larger jaw surface area, meaning their bite covers more area. Pitbulls have a more compact jaw structure that concentrates their force into a smaller area. Different strategies, both effective in their own way. Fighting instinct and temperament. This is where things get intense. Let's address the elephant in the room. Both breeds have been used in dogfighting, and both have reputations as aggressive dogs. But the reality is more nuanced. Pitbulls were specifically bred for dogfighting for generations. This doesn't mean they're naturally aggressive to humans. In fact, human aggression was bred out of them because handlers needed to separate fighting dogs safely. But dog aggression and the drive to engage with other dogs was intensified through selective breeding. This gave them an extremely high prey drive, incredible pain tolerance, and what's called gameness, the willingness to continue fighting despite injury or exhaustion. This gameness is perhaps the Pitbull's most significant advantage in any confrontation. They simply don't quit. Their pain threshold is extraordinarily high, and their determination is legendary. Stories of Pitbulls continuing to function despite serious injuries are common. This isn't aggression, it's drive and determination that was bred into them over centuries. Rottweilers have a different type of aggression profile. They were bred as guardian dogs, which means their aggression is more defensive and territorial. They're naturally suspicious of strangers and will defend their territory, family, and resources with fierce determination. However, their fighting style is different. Rottweilers are more calculated in their approach. They assess threats, and when they decide to engage, they do so with controlled aggression designed to neutralize the threat efficiently. Temperament-wise, both breeds can be gentle family dogs when properly raised and trained. Rottweilers tend to be more aloof with strangers, but deeply loyal to their family. They're confident, calm, and collected until provoked. Pit bulls are often described as eager to please, friendly even with strangers when properly socialized, but can have issues with other dogs due to their breeding history. In a confrontation scenario, the pit bull's relentless drive versus the Rottweiler's calculated power creates a fascinating dynamic. The pit bull won't back down and won't stop. The Rottweiler will use intelligence and devastating force to end things quickly. Intelligence and trainability. Intelligence matters in confrontations more than people realize. Rottweilers rank higher in canine intelligence studies, typically placing in the top 10 breeds for working and obedience intelligence. They learn commands quickly, can perform complex tasks, and have excellent problem-solving abilities. This intelligence translates to tactical awareness in confrontations. A Rottweiler can assess an opponent, recognize weaknesses, and adjust their strategy accordingly. Pit bulls are also intelligent dogs, though they rank slightly lower in formal obedience intelligence rankings. However, they possess what's called adaptive intelligence, the ability to learn from experience and solve problems independently. They're incredibly focused when they have a task, and their determination means they'll work through challenges that might discourage other breeds. Both breeds are trainable, but they require experienced handlers who understand their specific drives and motivations. Rottweilers respond well to firm, consistent leadership and clear hierarchies. Pit bulls thrive with positive reinforcement and owners who can channel their energy appropriately. In a fight scenario, the Rottweiler's higher tactical intelligence might allow them to find openings and exploit advantages more quickly. The pit bull's adaptive intelligence and experience-based learning means they improve their strategy as an encounter progresses. It's the difference between a chess player and a relentless warrior who learns from every exchange. Historical fighting records. Now let's look at actual history. Pit bulls have an extensive documented history in organized dogfighting, particularly in the United States from the late 1800s through the 20th century. In these controlled fighting scenarios, pit bulls developed a reputation for being formidable opponents, regardless of size disadvantages. Their combination of strength, pain tolerance, and gameness made them successful against larger opponents, including larger terriers and even some working breeds. Rottweilers, while not traditionally fighting dogs, have been involved in guardian work that included confronting threats from both animals and humans. Historical accounts describe Rottweilers defending against wolves, bears, and human attackers. Their role as protection dogs means they have centuries of breeding for confident confrontation of threats. There are anecdotal accounts of confrontations between these breeds, but verified documented cases are rare because responsible owners of both breeds avoid such situations. The few documented encounters show mixed results. Some accounts describe Rottweilers using their size advantage to dominate. Others describe pit bulls' relentless attack style overwhelming larger opponents through sheer determination. What history does tell us is that both breeds are capable of inflicting serious damage in confrontations. The pit bull's specialized breeding for dog combat gives them technical advantages in one-on-one canine confrontations. The Rottweiler's breeding for guardian work and their physical advantages give them different but equally significant strengths. Fighting style analysis. Let's break down how each breed would likely approach a confrontation. The Pitbull's fighting style is characterized by several key elements. They typically go low, targeting legs, underbelly, or throat. Their goal is to get a solid grip and hold on, using their jaw strength and neck muscles to maintain control. They're willing to take damage to get that grip. Once locked on, they use their powerful neck and body to shake and pull, causing maximum damage to the gripped area. Their low center of gravity makes them difficult to throw off or flip. They maintain constant pressure, never giving their opponent a chance to recover or reset. The Rottweiler's approach is different. They use their size and weight advantage immediately, attempting to overwhelm with force. Their strategy often involves going for a dominant position, using their mass to pin or control their opponent. They deliver powerful bites intended to end confrontations quickly rather than prolonged holds. They protect their own vulnerable areas better, using their bulk as defense. Their fighting style is more about controlled aggression and efficient neutralization of threats. In a hypothetical encounter between these two breeds, the initial engagement would be critical. If the Pitbull can avoid the Rottweiler's initial power assault and get underneath to achieve a solid grip on a vulnerable area, their determination and hold strength become significant advantages. If the Rottweiler can use their size to establish dominance early, landing devastating bites and using their weight to control the Pitbull's movement, their physical advantages become overwhelming. The terrain would matter. In an open space, the Rottweiler's size and reach are advantages. In confined spaces, the Pitbull's agility and lower profile might help them maneuver better. The longer the confrontation goes, the more the Pitbull's stamina and pain tolerance come into play. The more damage exchanged early, the more the Rottweiler's superior bite force matters. Real-world factors. Now let's talk about real-world factors that would influence any actual encounter. Training and experience matter enormously. A well-trained protection. Rottweiler with bite work training would have significant advantages over an untrained Pitbull. Conversely, a Pitbull raised with appropriate socialization but strong prey, drive management would be a very different opponent than a pet Pitbull with no confrontational experience. Individual variation is huge. We're talking about breeds, but individual dogs vary widely. Some Rottweilers are laid-back, gentle giants. Some Pitbulls are nervous and avoid confrontation. The most aggressive and well-trained individuals of either breed would be formidable, regardless of breed averages. Health and conditioning matter. A prime athletic specimen of either breed in peak condition would have advantages over an out-of-shape older or injured opponent. Age is a factor too. Both breeds are powerful in their prime years from 2 to 6 years old. Younger dogs lack experience. Older dogs may lack the physical capabilities despite having more experience. Gender plays a role. Male dogs of both breeds are typically larger, more aggressive, and more prone to confrontation than females. However, a protective female of either breed can be just as dangerous when defending puppies or territory. The reason for the confrontation matters too. A territorial Rottweiler defending their home has different motivation than two dogs meeting in a neutral area. A Pitbull with high prey drive encountering another dog has different mental state than one that's been socialized extensively with other dogs. The verdict. So after analyzing everything, who wins? The honest answer is that it depends on multiple factors, but we can make some educated assessments based on the evidence. In a theoretical matchup between two prime specimens of average size and temperament for their breeds, the Rottweiler has significant advantages that would likely lead to victory in most scenarios. The size difference is substantial. A 120-pound Rottweiler against a 65-pound Pitbull is almost a 2-to-1 weight advantage. That's hard to overcome regardless of other factors. The Rottweiler's superior bite force means every landed bite does more damage. Their larger frame gives them more room for error. They can absorb more punishment. Their protective instincts and guardian breeding mean they're naturally confident in confrontations. However, the Pitbull has paths to victory. If they can use their superior agility to avoid the Rottweiler's initial assault and get a grip on a vulnerable area like the throat, underbelly, or legs, their determination and hold strength become critical. If they can outlast the Rottweiler's initial burst of aggression and turn it into a war of attrition, their stamina and pain tolerance give them advantages. If they're fighting on behalf of their owner or in their own territory, their protective instincts add motivation that compensates for physical disadvantages. In multiple simulated scenarios and based on documented encounters, the results would probably favor the Rottweiler in about 65 to 70% of encounters. The physical advantages are just too significant to ignore. But that 30 to 35% for the Pitbull represents real possibilities, especially in scenarios where their specific advantages come into play. It's worth noting that individual variation probably matters more than breed averages. An exceptional Pitbull against an average Rottweiler might reverse the odds. A trained protection. Rottweiler against an untrained Pitbull makes it almost no contest. A peak-condition Pitbull with high gameness against an older, slower Rottweiler changes the math significantly. Important context. Before we wrap up, let's be absolutely clear about something important. This analysis is purely educational, examining the physical and behavioral traits of two breeds. Neither breed is inherently dangerous or evil. Both Pitbulls and Rottweilers make excellent family companions when properly bred, socialized, trained, and handled by responsible owners who understand their needs. The vast majority of both breeds will never be in a confrontational situation with another dog. Responsible ownership prevents these scenarios. Both breeds are loyal, intelligent, and capable of being gentle with children and other animals when raised correctly. The traits that make them powerful, the strength, determination, and protective instincts, are the same traits that make them excellent working dogs and devoted companions. Dogfighting is illegal, cruel, and unethical. This video does not promote or condone any form of animal fighting. We're examining historical breeding purposes and theoretical capabilities purely for educational understanding. Any owner who encourages aggressive behavior in their dog or puts their dog in confrontational situations is irresponsible and violating animal welfare laws. If you own either breed or are considering one, focus on proper socialization from puppyhood, consistent training with positive reinforcement methods, adequate exercise and mental stimulation, responsible containment and supervision, and education about breed-specific needs and behaviors. Both breeds require experienced handlers who can provide structure, leadership, and appropriate outlets for their energy and drives. So there you have it, the ultimate showdown between two of the most powerful dog breeds on Earth. The Rottweiler's size, bite force, and protective breeding give them the edge in most scenarios, but the Pitbull's determination, agility, and incredible gameness mean they should never be underestimated. In the end, both are remarkable animals that deserve respect and responsible ownership. What do you think? Do you agree with our analysis, or do you think we missed something important? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, but keep it respectful. Both breeds have passionate advocates, and this is a discussion about capabilities, not about which breed is better as a companion. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you've hit that like button. It really helps us create more content like this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our next Ultimate Showdown. We've got more breed comparisons, training tips, and fascinating dog content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and remember, every dog deserves a responsible owner who understands and respects what they're capable of. Until next time, stay informed and stay responsible.